Please help me welcome our candidates to the stage. In alphabetical order, Mr. Greg Crump. And Mr. Blaine Henderson. Gentlemen, thank you for agreeing to be here tonight and for your willingness to serve Pell City. Let's begin with opening statements. By prior agreement, Mr. Crump will go first. Mr. Crump, you have 3 minutes for your opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Dailey. First, I want to thank the Pell City Rotary Club for hosting this tonight. It's a great organization. A few years back, I had the privilege of being a member of this club. I've seen firsthand the good work that they do in our town. They host many events. They host the daddy-daughter dance, which was always a joy growing up for my girls. They look forward to it. So I thank the Rotary Club for that memory. They host a golf tournament. It's always fun to play in. And they host this. This is probably my least favorite event they host. But they do great work. It's an honor to be here tonight to talk to Mr. Henderson to discuss the issues of Pell City. A little bit about who Greg Crump is. I'm a lifelong resident of Pell City. I'm the son of Jimmy and Debbie Crump. I was raised in District 3 on 36th Street North. I went off to college, met my wife Abby at UAB. We moved back to Pell City. This is where we wanted to raise our kids. Abby is originally from the Clay, Trussville area, but I was lucky enough to get her to come down to Pell City. We have 3 wonderful kids. We have Bailey Crump. She's a senior at Pell City High School. We have Allie Crump. She's an 8th grader at Durham Junior High School. And we have Tyson Crump, who is in the 4th grade at Walter L. Kennedy Elementary School. For the past 12 years, we've had a kid go to Walter L. Kennedy Elementary. This will be Ty's last year, so we finally feel like we're making a little hay. We're moving on up a little bit. My family, we attend Victory Christian Church here in Pell City, where we love to have good fellowship with our church family. I work for Benjamin Moore here in Pell City as a quality lead. I'm grateful to have a good job right here in Pell City. I love not having to get on I-20 every day, going to look for a good job to make a good income for my family. It's valuable to me that I can do that right here in town. I value that deeply. I want more kinds of opportunities like that for our citizens. Benjamin Moore has been a great company to work for, and it's an example of how quality local jobs can strengthen families in our community. Again, it's a little bit about me. I want to thank Rotary for having us here, putting this event on. I look forward to a spirited, respectful discussion on the issues that matter to Pell Cityans and to the people of District 3, most importantly. Thank you for your trust you've placed in me. Thank you for welcoming me into your homes and for giving me the opportunity to earn your vote.
Thank you, Mr. Crump. Now, Mr. Henderson, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank the Rotary Club of Pell City and Mr. Dice for hosting and emceeing this event. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Blaine Henderson. I've lived in Pell City most of my life, married to Laurie Henderson. We have 3 kids together. Garrett, who is about to start his 2nd year at the University of Alabama. Miles, who is a senior, and Lila, who is a sophomore at Pell City High School. I graduated from Pell City High School, then graduated from Auburn University, moved back to Pell City, and that's where I've been since. I work for Henderson's Builder Supply in town. We've been in business for right around 80 years now. The reason I sought election for city council several years ago, and the reason I'm sitting here again today, is I just truly want to make Pell City better. Not necessarily just one area, one department, but the city as a whole. And that is my goal. That is why I'm here again, seeking re-election.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Let's move into our first round of questions, and we'll begin with you, Mr. Henderson. Question number 1. The District 3 City Council race is somewhat unique in that both of you have recently held public office. Please discuss the lessons you've learned while holding public office, whether they be from success or failure.
I've learned many things since sitting on the City Council for District 3. One that I feel is very important is when working with the other leaders of the city, the other members of council, the mayor, the city manager, it's very important to have an open mind about different situations or ideas you're discussing. There are a lot of times when we all want to achieve the same goal that we've set, but we just have different ideas on the way to get there. So keeping an open mind allows you to realize that, maybe my idea isn't the best one. And then you communicate with each other in a professional, productive manner to be able to achieve that goal and get behind the idea that everybody forms a consensus on is the right path. Another very important lesson I've had to learn and deal with, and I think anyone in a position like this would struggle with, is being able to put your personal feelings aside about certain situations and doing what's right for the city as a whole. I can give one example, and this isn't something that came up recently. It goes on all over the state, all over the country, and has been for years. Having to offer an incentive for a business to move into our town. Me personally, I don't like that idea. Being in this business community is, it's just kind of rubs you the wrong way, but I understand the quality of life improvements that those businesses, restaurants, that they bring to our community. And that's a greater impact on the city than the way I personally feel about it.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Crump.
It's been interesting jumping into politics and we're serving on the board for 5 years. I think you're learning something every day, every week, every phone call, every interaction you have with your constituents. Especially jumping into the school system and trying to adapt and learn the speed of how things go and operate there. So you're always learning in this job. You're always listening. I had the privilege of serving on the Pell City Board of Education for 5 years. During this time, we faced our share of hot button issues. I never shied away from making a tough decision. You can look at my record. I always trusted my gut, voted with conviction, and stood by my principles. Knowing that leadership isn't about doing what's popular, it's about doing what's right. My decisions weren't always what the Board of Education wanted, but it's what my constituents want. And that's who I represent. If you elect me in District 3, that's who I'll represent. I also learned just how much the people of Pell City care about their community. I had countless conversations with the residents, and their passion for our town is inspiring. I understand that not every decision will make everyone happy, and not every vote will go my way. That's part of leadership. You have to be willing to take a stand, even when it's hard. And I learned at the end of the day, I measure my decisions about whether I can lay my head down at night, pray to Jesus, and thank Him, knowing I acted with integrity and in the best interest of the people I serve. If you vote with conviction in your heart, you can stand by that vote, no matter the outcome. I learned a lot about politics, and I learned a lot about me in the 5 years I've served on the Board of Education.
Thank you, sir. And we'll go to question number 2 for Mr. Crump. What motivates you to represent District 3 on the City Council?
Mr. Dailey, that's a loaded question because, like I said, that is the district I grew up in. That's the people I know, the streets I rode bicycles down, the creeks I hunted crawdads in. I know those people. I feel like they need a voice, not always for City Hall, but for District 3. That's why I'm running. There's a lot of areas in District 3 that I think needs improvement. I think I can help build and get us to where we need to be. But it's just Pell City. I mean, it's District 3, it's Pell City. This is my home. This is, my grandparents, both sets of grandparents are from the area. And it's just, I care about, I love, and I want to give, when I got out of the school board race, this is something I wanted to do. I feel like I had more to give for the people of this town, and that's what I'm excited about pursuing.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. Henderson.
I've lived in District 3, me and my wife have, for 22 years now, and we're still in the process of raising our 3 kids there. When I was younger, I had grandparents that lived in District 3. I also had aunt and uncle, so I spent a lot of time over there with my cousins, playing over there. Been around this district a lot in my life. The thing that motivates me to want to represent District 3 is not only to make it better, but to make our city better as a whole. District 3 is very unique in that it is home to some of our older neighborhoods as well as some of the newer ones. And also, a large chunk of our retail and industrial economy is in District 3. So there's a wide range of issues that District 3 faces being on the city council. It's tough when, some of the other ones don't have the retail, they don't have the industrial part in their district. But at the end of the day, I just want to make not only District 3, but the city of Pell City better through quality of life improvements for our citizens, whether that's retail or dining, recreational activities, making sure that our streets, our utilities like water and sewer are up to par, and that our police fire service is not only adequate to handle any day-to-day issues that arise, but also to meet the needs of the future.
Thank you, sir. And for question number 3, we'll start with Mr. Henderson. We'll stay with Mr. Henderson. We've heard what motivates you. Now, in your opinion, what qualifies you to serve as a member of the city council, and what will you bring to the table if elected?
I've lived in Pell City most of my life. I've had parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents that were all proud to call Pell City home. Part of an 80-year-old family business here. And that's what motivates me. It's kind of a personal issue because, as you can tell, I am personally and financially invested in this city. So I want to see it become the best version of itself that it can be. If elected, I will continue to represent the city of Pell City in a professional manner, working with our other leaders, be it the mayor, city manager, other council members, open-minded when dealing with them. I also have a willingness to work with other leaders, whether it's other municipalities, our county leaders, our state leaders, because without them, there's a lot of things that the city would like to do, but we simply just cannot do on our own. We need help from those organizations, and I believe that working with them is very important.
Thank you, sir. And I apologize to both of you. If either of you would like me to repeat the question, I'll do that moving forward.
Please repeat this question.
Yes, sir. We've heard what motivates you. Now, in your opinion, what qualifies you to serve as a member of the city council, and what will you bring to the table if elected?
Problem solving. I wake up every day, go to work, put out problems, find solutions, work for the common good, bring a group together. That's what I do every day, is problem solving. That's what I feel like you have to do in the county council. You have to be willing to critique your decisions, to make a decision and you don't see it going in the right direction, to maybe move away, to pivot. I feel like what I do daily qualifies me really good to be on this council. I'm also a lifelong resident of Pell City. My grandparents have both been here a long time also. Both of them had businesses here in Pell City that in history, and I've just known people from every stretch from Coal City to Pell City to New London. And I feel like that my problem-solving skills, the way I can create relationships, foster relationships, have the difficult conversations. I feel like that gives me a good foundation, a good base, and qualifies me for this position.
Thank you, sir. Question number 4 from Mr. Crump. What do you believe are Pell City's greatest strengths and what makes us unique relative to the neighboring cities and communities?
Well, I can give you the obvious answer that every politician that's sat up here for the last 30 years has probably said. That would be the lake, Logan Martin. That is awful, an awful big strength we have. Also, our strength is the proximity to Birmingham and Atlanta. Those are just your given answers. Our natural beauty and other communities that would love to have. I'm sure Moody would love to have this lake. But that said, I think our biggest strengths are people. I think we have developers, builders, church leaders, current councilmen, past councilmen, community members, business owners, teachers, who have poured their time in this community for years. These people call Pell City home, and we're lucky for that. We've had leaders step up when needed. We've had visionaries who see what's possible, and neighbors who care for one another. Pell City has a great sense of community pride that you just can't fake. People love the Panthers. People love our schools. People love our city. That's what draws families here. That's what ignites the fire in each one of us to serve. That's what sells our community. And while doing all that, we've been lucky to keep the small town feel. There's still plenty of room to grow. But I like to keep the small town feel.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Henderson, what do you believe are Pell City's greatest strengths and what makes us unique relative to neighboring cities and communities?
One of our greatest strengths is our people, our residents, our educators, our business people, our city leaders. I believe they're all vested in making Pell City better. You don't have to try real hard to get people to offer up opinions, ideas, advice, and criticism. They do it freely, and that just shows that there are people here who care. As far as strengths and uniqueness, I think these two next things go hand in hand together. One would be the lake, of course. Logan Martin Lake provides many different recreational activities for not only our residents, but the people that it attracts into our town from other areas. So you don't have to live on the water to be able to enjoy everything that Logan Martin Lake has to offer. Another one of our strengths, which also makes us unique, is our accessibility. We have an interstate and 2 state highways that flow through our town. Residents, as we grow, I know we all get frustrated at the amount of new traffic that are on these roads. But as far as being able to recruit businesses to our town, having highways and an interstate like that makes shipping and receiving much easier on them. And not only that, but it allows them to expand their footprint into other areas when recruiting new employees, because the travel times will be reduced and it's much easier to travel having a major road like that versus just smaller city or county roads.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Henderson, we'll stay with you for question number 5. As a follow-up to that question, what are some weaknesses or shortcomings that you may see in our community, and how would you address them?
One weakness is something that there's nothing any of us can do about, and that is simply our location. We're right between Birmingham and the Henderson-Oxford area, which makes it hard because both areas have a much larger population base than we do, and being able to recruit businesses here is a challenge, trying to pull it from either one of those 2 areas. Now, we have made some significant strides in the last few years on being able to land some new businesses here, and like I said, it's one of those things that's where we are, and there's nothing we can do to change it. We just have to do the best of what we have. Another weakness that I don't fault anyone for, because I've been just as guilty of it as anybody else, is I want to say, a lack of understanding of not only how, but the speed at which government works across different levels. And what I mean by that is, I'll give you two examples. Number one is the condition of Highway 78 around the Eden exit and the traffic problems at the Civic Center. These are problems that I know they frustrate all of you. They frustrate us as city leaders also, because they're both on a state highway. So the city's hands are somewhat tied in what we can do to address these issues without help from other governmental agencies. So we rely on the state without that. And guess what? They rely on the federal government to get the funding to be able to have the money to fix these kinds of issues. So it's nothing that it's anybody's fault. It's just, I think, like I said, a lack of understanding of how government works.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Crump, what are some of the weaknesses or shortcomings that you may see in our community, and how would you address them?
One of the biggest weaknesses I see right now is our lack of quality of life options. Like, this has got to do with recreational options for kids, young adults, and seniors. So our Parks and Recreation Department this year had to turn away kids from playing football. Tonight, my own son is playing flag football, but he has to go to Lincoln to practice and play in a Lincoln League. To me, a town of this size, that's unacceptable. We shouldn't be having to go to Lincoln or kids to play football and to play in their Parks and Rec. We had a tryout there the other night. I think we had 28 kids and probably 17 of them were from Pell City. I would like to see our recreational options enhanced to make room for not just kids, but young adults and our senior citizens. We're right off I-20. We're in the middle of Alabama. This should be a prime location for recreation. But instead, we're missing opportunities because we don't have enough fields. We don't have enough fields for all our teams to practice. We don't have enough facilities to meet the demands. If you want to thrive and become more attractive to families and visitors, these issues need to be fixed. This also extends to young adults. When I was growing up, you'd see young adults playing softball down at the park every night of the week. You saw men's leagues in basketball, volleyball. You saw all kind of options. We don't have that anymore. 25 years ago, we had it, but we don't have it anymore. I think we need to get that back and give all of our people, from kids to seniors, good quality of life options for after work and on the weekends.
Thank you, sir. Would you guys like to both break for a short period or keep going?
I'm good.
Let's go. We'll now start with our second round of questions, and we'll begin with Mr. Crump. Question number 6. Many residents have suggested development options for the former Avondale Mills property, which is within the District 3. Recently, the city bought back the adjacent Avondale walking track property, adding to the already large piece where the former mill once stood. What would you like to see those two areas become?
Look, I'm excited that the city purchased that part back by the track. The Avondale property is historic. It's got a lot of meaning to our town, a lot of meaning to our people. So whatever is done on that property, I'd like to see it be cohesive throughout it. So I think it's exciting that the city purchased that property. I believe what we have here is a unique chance to bring our past and our present and our future together. This area has plenty of green space. As far as I would like to see it be developed more into a park. Maybe give some more fields for kids, for athletes. We're running out of room at the civic center, so I think other options have to be on the table. I think something there that would help out with that, but also I'd like to create a space there that would maybe host some festivals. I think that's a good idea. Outdoor markets, maybe possible concerts, something that supports small businesses. It gives our residents another reason to get together. I think in District 3, in the downtown area, that area 25 years ago, the baseball fields left. 15, 20 years ago, the mill left. I think a heart of that area has disappeared, and we drive by it every day. I would like to see that area revigorated. I'd like to see it be branded something like the Avondale's Entertainment District. I think that would be something that would instill and infuse that area with some life. There's plenty of room there. It needs to be the heart of the community and what you see when you cross the bridge coming into town.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henderson, many residents have suggested development options for the former Avondale Mills property, which is within District 3. Recently, the city bought back the adjacent Avondale walking track property, adding to the already large piece where the former mill once stood. What would you like to see those two areas become?
In the last 10, 15 years, there have been a bunch of ideas floated around about this property. Amphitheaters, dog parks, farmers markets, green space. And I think they're all very viable options. But this property requires a great deal of consideration. For one thing, it's adjoined by one of the most historic and oldest neighborhoods in the town, in the Mill Village. So you've got noise concerns and traffic concerns that must be taken into account. There are some environmental restrictions that are on the property, so you couldn't really grow anything there aside from just some shrubs and that kind of thing. That piece of property, I would love to see a mix of retail and public green space. Maybe, just some facilities that not necessarily enclosed, but more pavilion type that could house something like a farmer's market where the people aren't out in the sun and in the weather all the time, but also be used for other outdoor activities. This is a great piece of property right in the middle of our town, but the decision to do something with it can't be made very hastily or without much planning. It's going to require every department in the city, from utility for water and sewer, the street department, the parks and rec department, police and fire are all going to have to weigh in on what goes here. Because as Greg said, this can be a very bright spot for our city for the next 20 to 30 years. But you just can't rush into it, because this is something that we're going to get one shot at doing, and we have to make sure it's the right thing that goes there whenever we start.
Thank you, sir. We'll stay with you for question number 7. Mr. Henderson, somewhat related to that question, what are some opportunities that you see specifically for District 3 over the next 5 to 10 years?
Over the next 5 to 10 years, I can see a lot of retail potential along both sides of I-20, north and south of it. We've had good luck bringing businesses into those areas in the last few years, and I think that will continue. Also, going down 231 south toward Highway 34, I believe there's opportunity there, not only for either new structures, but maybe rehabbing some old buildings for other businesses come in and fix them up. There's always going to be room for residential development. A lot of District 3 is located around Highway 231 and I-20. Proximity to those two roads make it very attractive for people who live here, or maybe they don't work here. I mean, we all know people that drive to Birmingham or Henderson, wherever, every day to work. So our location makes us a very desirable place for new development.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Crump, what are some opportunities that you see specifically for District 3 over the next 5 to 10 years?
I think we're going to continue to see wins on the I-20 corridor of District 3. I think that's going to come. That's been a great vision by leaders in our community for that area. I think we're just going to see that enhanced over the next 5 or 10 years. I think our industrial park area has a lot of room for growth as well. A lot of space there to provide quality jobs. But we're having a lot of success in that I-20 corridor. But I'd like to see some more success right in the heart of District 3, is the Avondale area. As it goes back to your last question, I think that area, I think it's time that something is done there. I think that lot has been vacant too long. So I see that in the next 5 or 10 years being developed and being a hub for our city. We've had really good things happening on I-20. We're having really good things happen at the lake. I think it's time to bring back the core of our town, put something in that Avondale area that'll give everybody something to be proud of. And it just takes away from that just empty hole you see when you cross over the bridge. lately. I mean, it just excites me to see the city, you know, when they took the fence down and they're keeping the grass cut in that area. That gives me a lot of excitement because I mean, to me that just looks a lot better, and it looks like we're making some progress. And but for District 3 in the next 5-10 years, I see growth. I see industrial growth. I see more neighborhoods. I see, you know, hopefully better infrastructure, better roads. That's what I see in the next 5 or 10 years.
Thank you, sir. We'll stay with you for question number 8. Mr. Crump, the voters of Pell City School Systems recently changed the way in which the Pell City School Board is made. With the City Council now entrusted with appointing all 5 board members, what are your priorities for Pell City Schools, and what is your strategy for collaborating with new Board of Education to achieve positive results?
My priorities for the Pell City school system remain clear and consistent, and always have. Every student deserves a fair chance. We ought to offer everything that every big school system around us has. Our students who graduate ready to compete on the equal playing field with anybody. That's from kids wanting to go to college, kids wanting to go to the workforce. Our kids need to be trained up to compete with any of them. While we made progress, we still have a lot of work to do, especially in improving test scores and expanding opportunities. Listen, we're fortunate to have just hired a visionary in Superintendent Justin Burns. My top priority, I sit on this council, will be to support him, support his vision, support his leadership, give him the resources he needs to take Pell City Schools to the next level. Regarding the newly appointed school board, I bring experience and understanding of what you will face. I'll be a reliable point of communication, helping them navigate challenges by providing insight into past decisions and offer guidance. This new relationship between the City Council and the school board is a fresh start, one that requires teamwork and shared responsibility. There's no more passing the buck. We're all in it together. I'm excited about the potential for collaboration and the positive outcomes we can achieve by working as one community focused on the school's success.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henderson, the voters of the Pell City School System recently changed the way in which the Pell City School Board is made. With the City Council now entrusted with appointing all 5 board members, what are your priorities for the Pell City Schools, and what is your strategy for collaborating with the new Board of Education to achieve positive results?
The Pell City School System is one of, if not the biggest asset of our community. It's also year in, year out, one of our largest employers. My priority for the Pell City School System is to make sure that every student, when they leave Pell City, or Pell City School System, that they have a leg up on the people that they will be competing with, whether they go straight into the job market or they're competing for college admissions. We all know that the job market changes just year after year on what companies are looking for in future hires. Our kids need to be prepared and up to date on what those companies are looking for. I'm really excited to see what new ideas our new superintendent and board members have for our school system. I look forward to working with them. I believe that a healthy partnership between the two begins with collaboration on helping them meet goals that they probably would not be able to meet just on their own. And that way, maybe they can get some things done a lot quicker and sooner than otherwise would be possible. At the end of the day, the success of our city and the success of Pell City School System are directly tied hand in hand. One doesn't do good, the other one doesn't. It's plain as that.
Thank you, sir. We'll stay with you for question number 9. Mr. Henderson, as we all know, intergovernmental partnerships are important. How would you view the city's relationship with the St. Clair County Commission, and how can the two parties work together for the betterment of Pell City?
The City of Pell City and the St. Clair County Commission have a strong working relationship. In the past 9 years, we partnered together on several projects, demolition of the old hospital, and then the retail development that took its place, getting the QT to locate to the Eden exit, the finishing of the road that connects Highway 231 and Veterans Parkway, and one other thing that wasn't without some controversy was the completion of the new St. Clair County Jail. Without the two of us, the two entities being able to work together, these things may have never happened, or they would have been a struggle to happen, just one of us trying to do it on our own. Also, there are a lot of times when we need another governmental agency's help to be able to get something that we want to do in our town done. I know it may seem hard to believe, but we still have streets in this city that are county-owned streets. So we have to have the city's help whenever it comes to paving or maintaining those roads. But keeping a good open line of communication with them, being able to work together professionally and effectively is extremely important.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Crump, as we all know, intergovernmental partnerships are important. How would you view the city's relationship with the St. Clair County Commission, and how can the two parties work together for the betterment of Pell City?
Okay, a productive partnership between the city and the county commission is vital. It makes a real positive impact on all of our lives. I think we can just look back on, in the past, and, collaborations between the city and the EDC have promoted a lot of growth, brought a lot of industry to our town. A lot of our industrial area and a lot of our I-20 development is from collaborations with the EDC in their office. One thing that I think that would be great for the city and the commission, and take that further, the Board of Education of the county to work together on would be to get the 1 cent sales tax that is in our schools attendance zone, Pell City Schools attendance zone, but it's not in the city limits. There is a 1 cent sales tax that those areas have that's generated, that does not go to the kids in the Pell City school system. That penny does not follow those kids. It stays in the county system. So, we have a lot of development in our school attendance zone, not just in our city limits. And this is something I think I want to run on, keep in the forefront of the commission and our school board, that we need to push, stay up to date, and make sure we get that 1 cent from the attendance zone portion of our school system. Working with the commission hand in hand and with the County Board of Education will help that.
Thank you, sir. We'll stay with you for question number 10. Mr. Crump, what is the biggest challenge we face as a community, and how do you plan to address that challenge in a positive way, should you be elected?
Our biggest challenge in the community is just getting out of our way. I think we have a good core group of people in this town who know how to work and push through the naysayers. I think we have a big problem in Pell City of trying to eat our own. We don't like seeing people successful. We don't like seeing positive growth. And you can see that anytime you want to get online or on social media out. But I think that's a negative, but I do think we have a lot of young people, older people who, ignore that. They know what Pell City can be. And we push forward all as one. We might not agree on every issue, but I think we have a good foundation of people that's going to get Pell City to where it needs to be.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Henderson, what is the biggest challenge we face as a community, and how do you plan to address that challenge in a positive way should you be elected?
Growth. Growth is our biggest challenge. We all like a small town feel. No one would argue with that, but at the same time, we also like more places to shop, different options for dining, more recreational activities. As people start to move out of larger communities, Birmingham being a prime example, places like Pell City become more and more popular. As as more and more people relocate here, leaving the cities, then more businesses are going to follow to meet the extra demand that will create. So making sure that we're planning now for future growth through all departments, utility for water and sewer, not only to meet what we have now, but talking with other engineers and stuff to make sure that our plan is capable of handling that growth. Our street department, making sure the condition of our roads is sufficient now, but also looking at the possibility of having to build new roads to new areas that haven't been touched yet. Police and fire, you have to make sure that those are staffed and adequately funded so that they can respond when an emergency arises. Parks and rec, you're gonna have more people here, not just to, their kids playing sports, but you go down there to the civic center, there's plenty of people my age and older that use the gym, use the tennis courts, the lakeside park and its walking track. And then also our new addition, the pickleball courts. There's all ages there, all day, every day. So I believe that our biggest challenge will be growth, and we have to start now planning and preparing.
Thank you, sir. We're approaching the end of our forum. Each candidate will now have up to 3 minutes for closing remarks. By prior agreement, Mr. Henderson will go first.
First off, I'd like to say thank you again to the Rotary Club and Mr. Dice for hosting and emceeing this event. And I would just like to say that I'm sitting here today seeking re-election to represent District 3 on the Pell City Council for the same reason I was 9 years ago. I simply just want to see Pell City become the best version of itself it can be. We have a great town here. We have a lot of good people. We have a good school system. We have a lot of amenities that other towns don't have. In my time on the council, I believe I've done my best to represent Pell City in a professional manner. Been fortunate enough to work with a group of people in that time who treat fiscal responsibility the same way I do. We do not treat the city's finances lightly. We've made some improvements on the way we pay bills, purchase versus financing equipment. We even started a capital improvement fund to make sure that our different departments have funds available at the end of the year to be able to get items that they just can't simply fit in their normal operating budget. But at the end of the day, all the effort just goes to trying to make Pell City as a whole better. It takes a lot of effort, it takes communication, and being able to just to stay open-minded, listen to the people, listen to the other city leaders, and everybody formulate the best plan and move forward with it.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Now, Mr. Crump, your closing remarks, please.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this race isn't about politics to me, it's personal. If you go into the homes and be lucky enough to go talk to these people, we always talk about the development. When I'm 20, we talk about future development we would like to see, but what I've learned from being in the homes of District 3 constituents is it's personal to them. It's about getting their leaves picked up. It's about garbage pickup. It's about why is my ditch not getting cut? Why am I having drainage issues? Why am I not getting water pressure? Those are the issues that hit home with the people in District 3. Everybody likes the lights of the new stores, the new developments. But when you get in a home and you talk to these people, you learn it's a little personal level. It's not all the big puff. I've spent my life here. I've raised my kids here. I've ran a business here. I've served on the school board here. I've worked in the industry here. I've volunteered my time for many years coaching youth sports here. And I know what it takes to solve problems and make things better. I believe in growing our city the right way, not just for today, but for our kids and grandkids. I believe in supporting our schools, and I also believe in taking care of our seniors and making Pell City a place where every generation feels valued. I believe it's time we bring wins to every part of this city, not just along I-20, not just at the lake, but right in the heart of District 3. If you want a councilman who won't just listen to you, but will hear you, who will work hard, who will put community first every single day, then I'm asking for your vote. Together, we can continue to transform Pell City into a place that generations of Pell Cityans will be happy to live in. Thank you to the Pell City Rotary Club for having us. Thank you, Mr. Henderson, for a spirited conversation. And thank you for all coming tonight.
Thank you. Let's give our candidates a round of applause, please.